plan, but he's got something better I can't deny. Even if sometimes I'm wondering why. The Holy Spirit knows, yeah, he knows what's best. When I think about it all, he puts me to the test. Might seem a little strange, might feel kinda odd, but in the end, he's always got the nod. I'm trying to figure out life.
All right.
Grace, leading me through every step I face. It's funny how it works, I can't lie. The Holy Spirit knows better than I. I'm in a rush, gotta meet that goal, but he says slow down, let me take control. Really now?
So tonight we're talking about sales.
Trust me, I've got bigger
How
plans
to
for
sell
you.
like a pro.
Begin to know it all, but then I stumble and I start to fall. Then there he is, smiling through it
Are you
all.
ready?
I'll catch you before you hit the wall. It's always the same, I try to steer, but his way is
All right, let me know if you're ready. Let me know if you're ready. Let me know if you're ready.
Turns out it's the best
Are you ready? Because I am.
Holy Spirit knows, yeah, he knows what's best. When
I
think
am.
about it all, he puts me to the test. It might seem a little strange, might feel kinda odd, but in the end, he's always got the nod. I'm trying to figure out life, he's laughing with grace, leading me through every step I face. It's funny how it works, I can't lie. The Holy Spirit knows better than I.
Okay.
Sometimes
Jennifer, yes sir. It's Mary. I see you. I see you. All of my people. All right, I see people are joining already. They are coming in. Let's enjoy it to know our song for a bit. I love the song. I love the song. I love the song.
But in the end, he's always got the nod. I'm trying to figure out life. He's laughing with grace, leading me through every step I face.
We're all like, see you. It's Mary, born ready. Energy. Energy. I like the sound of that. So things, yes sir, in Jesus' world. I see you. Right, we're coming in, we're coming in. Tonight we know no time for stories. We're just getting to the gist of tonight. All right. If you don't know yet, the Holy Spirit knows. I love the song. I love the lyrics. Yeah, I'm all about the lyrics of songs anyway. I'm all about the lyrics. What's the word communicating? And this song is loaded. All right, welcome. I want to welcome everybody. Hey, my VA, I see you. You're in the house. All right, let me drop the music and let's get more. Okay, music drop down. Welcome to the fourth and the final training session for this challenge, the 21-day LinkedIn consistency and content marketing challenge. You know, one of my goals for starting this challenge basically is not just to get you to be consistent, it's to get you to be consistent and to be showing up the right way. All right. It's not good enough that you're showing up. All right. It's not good enough that you're creating content Monday to Friday. It's better, even best, if you're showing up in a way that is attractive, that the people that you want to sell to find you attractive, understand your message, and find what you're selling compelling enough to actually want to put their money on you. All right. And that's the whole essence of content marketing, is to build connection with your target audience, to build a relationship with them, and then to take them on a journey. We're not rushing. All right. Content marketing, you don't rush. It's not like, oh, I'm putting up this offer and I want sales like today. All right. It's about taking your potential or target audience, your customers, on a journey, and then safely getting them to that point where everybody says, man, give me this product. All right. I want to buy. And they are buying from you joyfully. All right. It's not like they are buying and they are angry, or they are buying and they are squeezing their face. I get people to pay me for my services joyfully, to pay me 400K, 500K, 600K joyfully. All right. I write for mostly American companies, and I get them to sign off on deals that, they will be glad to actually part with their money. And even the Nigerians that got, offers, they are glad to part with their money, because before they finally get to buy, they have seen the value of what they are putting their money on. See, it's a very effortless way to sell. All right, it's different from showing up online and trying to put guns to our head and say come and buy, or it's different from just there's another approach to getting clients on LinkedIn, which you can send pitches. Even when I teach you how to send cold pitch, I still don't teach you that general one that people just barge into your DM and say, "Oh, my name is Ajala Lekon. I sell, I sell, I sell. Do you want to buy?" Somebody sends me a cold pitch this week. Well, she just met, in Yoruba, we say, Oba Orimile. Let me say that in English because of the international audience. She met my head at home. Something you say when you be like, oh, somebody said something, did something that you don't feel too cool. Very calm mode. So usually when people send me some pitches, I don't reply. Sometimes if I get to finally reply, I may be a little bit not too nice. All right. And there's nothing actually bad in that. So love or kindness is not to be does not mean you can't be firm or you can't be strict. All right. So but when people barge into my DM, let me tell you a few things I don't like people doing in my DM. I don't like people sending me posts and say engage. I don't send me your post on LinkedIn and say engage. I don't like it. It's all shades of wrong for me. I never do it to people. I don't want you to do it to me. All right. And when I teach you how to also cold pitch people, I teach you a better way to cold pitch, not the aggressive. Oh, I'm a web designer. I saw your website. You want to design website and all of that. I mean, connect with the person, do your research. Well, I think I'm going to teach a little bit around code pitching in the second cohort, but there's actually a person reads your stuff and they don't see you as being offensive, they don't see you as being aggressive. It just comes to them very cool. All right. So content marketing is all about selling in a very cool way and getting conversions without stress, without tension. And one of the things I want to show you tonight as we look at selling or how to sell like a pro is how can you really sell social selling. Social selling is selling on social media basically. It's like a coinage that has become popular over the years. How do you sell on social media without without anybody feeling like you're selling? It just feels so cool, so relaxed. Even you, the salesperson, you are not under any pressure. That is what I want to help you figure out tonight. If you're ready, let me know in the comment section that you are ready, and then we will roll. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? I want to show you a better way to sell. A seamless, simple, no pressure way to sell. You're not under pressure. Your customer is not under pressure. Everybody is joyfully, transacting and sending money to each other. That's what I want to show you tonight. Are you ready? Let me see a lot of ready in the comment section. Ready, 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 ready. Are you ready? Are you ready? All right. So one of the things I've tried to do in this challenge is to just take you step by step. We looked at content copywriting, then we looked at offer. Now we're looking at how to sell the offer, all right? So that everything can just come together. Well, there are a few things we can't touch in this course. Why? Because I don't want to overload you with information. I don't want you to have information overwhelmed. I want you to learn a few things and then execute on the few things, and we can learn a lot more later. See, what I've taught you in this challenge is 0.00001% of what I know in this life. All right. Even when I spend 1.5 hours teaching you on sales, it's still a nano part of what I know on sales. All right. For those of you who stick with us, there's going to be enough time to learn and then to implement and then to get results. All right. So I see all the ready in the comments. I think we are good to go. I don't know. Should I re-emphasize the information I placed in the WhatsApp group earlier today, or I should just do that when we're wrapping up? I think I'll do that when we're wrapping up. I want to believe some persons are still going to join as we continue. So I'm just going to share my slide, no time, and then we set the ball rolling. Presentation. Where's my slide? Where is my slide? Right. Present. Okay. If you can see my slide, let me know. Presenting my slide. Can you see my slide? So it looks like we're having a little issue with the network again tonight. This is taking too long to load. And this document is like 2 megabytes. It's not even up to 2 megabytes. A very small sized. I mean, it's not a heavy document. I bind you in Jesus' name. Amen. Work smoothly. Okay, I don't know. This is YouTube, but I don't know why it's not showing on the screen. It's loading like forever. Let me. If you can see my screen and you can see my slide, please let me know. Okay, y'all are seeing my slide. I can't see my slide. I mean, I can't see my slide on my own computer screen, even though I can see it on you. Can see it. And there's no way I will present without seeing what I'm speaking to. So let me try to load it again. Let me load it again. So I'm going to raise the music so that in the meantime you'll be enjoying the music while I'm trying to fix this.
I got my plans, I got my way. I'm thinking today's gonna be my day. I'm ready to win, I'm ready to go. But the Holy Spirit wants to take it slow. I say, wait, what? That don't
Yeah,
make sense. I'm feeling strong,
apologies.
I'm
It's
feeling
network
tense.
issue.
Deep inside, I feel the nudge telling me trust, don't hold a grudge. Oh, why is it always like that? I think I've got the
Apologies, I'm working on it.
He's got something better I can't deny. Even if sometimes I'm wondering why. The Holy Spirit knows, yeah, he knows what's best. When I think about it all, he puts me to the test. Might seem a little strange and I feel kinda odd, but in the end, he's always got the nod. I'm trying to figure out life, he's laughing with grace, leading me through every step I face. It's funny how it works, I can't lie. The Holy Spirit knows better than I. I'm in a rush, gotta meet that goal, but he says, slow down, let me take control. Really? Now? I've got things to do. He says, trust me, I've got bigger plans for you. I roll my eyes, thinking I know it all, but then I stumble.
I can't really see where the issue is coming from. Is it my streaming software? Is it the MTN signal? I'm just going to try to upload my document again. Then I will do it. Alright, so we're loading, Give me a few seconds. So sorry. Sometimes you can't help these things. Okay, I can see my slide now. We are good to go. All right, so if you see my screen now, let me know in the comment section.
He's never wrong, he's never late. Turns out his timing is always great. The Holy Spirit knows, yeah, he knows what's best.
Can you see my screen now?
He puts me to the test. Might seem a little strange, might feel kind of odd, but in the end, he's always got the nod. I'm trying to figure out life, he's laughing with grace.
Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
It's funny how it works.
Let me bring down the music. And let's move. Can you see my screen? Okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I see that you can see my screen now. So guys, let's go. So today we're looking at how to sell like a professional, all right? How to sell like an expert, something like that. All right. So it's the fourth training session of
He says, trust me,
the
I got
21
bigger plans for you.
day
I roll my eyes
LinkedIn
thinking I'll know it all, but
content
then
marketing
things start
challenge.
to fall.
And what I want to do is some good information that you can use to excel on LinkedIn this year. All right. So raise your hand. You know where I was asking people to raise their hand. Let me know what they feel about marketing. All right. What do you feel about marketing? And I think a lot of people say, "Oh, okay, I still feel scared, but I think I'm better than before." Yeah, a lot of people went for that. Then I think the second sect actually were those who actually says they are scared when it comes to selling. About 6% or thereabout, which is cool, beautiful. But again, you can still be very confident at selling and still not be getting results anyway. So I just thought to mention that you can be very bold when it comes to approaching people and selling, but you may not be getting results because you may not just be selling the right way. All right. Then there's the third set of people, the ones that are still scared when it comes to putting themselves out, putting out their offer, and asking people to give you money. All right. So I'm going to speak to everybody tonight. Yeah. So whichever category you fall, trust me, this is going to be super helpful for you. I have always hated marketing and selling. So, and when I say this, reasons why I used to hate marketing before, I know some of you will be able to relate. All right. When you leave school, for example, you leave the university or you leave what some people call college in, say, US and all of that. So when you leave college and you are applying for a job, most of us, well, yeah, most of us run from marketing roles. We run for, I personally ran away from marketing roles. Anytime I hear marketing, I pick race, all right? I just run. For obvious reasons, all right? Number one, traditional marketers actually growing up, and the things you hear, the things you see, and even now that you're grown in your experience, you can relate with the fact that traditional marketers are too pushy. All right. They often try to get you to buy something you maybe don't even need. And no matter what you try to tell, how you try to tell them that I don't need this thing, they are trying everything to convince you that you must buy. So it gives you a very negative energy about marketing. So when someone else says, "Oh, there's a marketing role available," you're seeing yourself in that picture of somebody who will now be going about annoying people. Going about, getting on people's nerves, getting them to want to buy something that they don't want to buy. All right. And so every time I the picture that comes to mind, I'm like, no, I'm not going to be like these people. No, see, I can't even imagine seeing myself, being the person who gets on people's nerves. All right. If you look at the picture on the screen, there's a lady doing her hand like she's shooting. I mean, she's holding a gun. All right. So basically, that's like the idea you have of marketers. They just come and they put a gun to you and they're like, "Oh, you must buy. You must buy." I don't know what you want to say. You must buy. And some of them are good at, putting you or getting you into a corner where even though you know you don't need it or you don't even want to buy or you don't even have enough money to buy, but somehow some of you cannot build that resistance to say no. So ultimately you part with the money after they have now gone. You now be feeling bad that why exactly did I buy this thing? All right. So traditional marketing is kind of pushy. Yeah, it's people trying to get you to buy something that you don't feel like you need. All right. Then the second part is one of the reasons why I hated marketing is that traditional marketers come off to you like all they just care about is your money. All right. And they don't even mind going to any lengths, even making empty promises, as long as they get you to say yes. They will say anything, they will sweet talk you, they will browbeat you, they will do everything until they get you to finally part with your money. All right. And in the end, you just feel like, oh, these guys really don't even care about you. They just want to meet targets. They want to meet their targets. They want to, record sales. They want to get commission. So it's not really, really the customers that is at the heart of the activities. It is the company, it is their own status, it is their own ego. So that picture of marketing made me to actually, not really like marketing. And then there's the big one. The idea of targets and commission. I think this is one of these why most people run from marketing. They tell you, oh, we have a marketing role for you. They tell you your salary is 20,000 naira. Yeah, for the Nigerian audience, 20,000 naira, and they tell you your commission is like 300k if you can bring in 500 customers. If you don't bring in 500 customers, they will tell you that your salary is shaking, all right? If you don't hit the target, hit the target. So the idea of hitting targets just sounds like, oh man, I know I'm not going to hit this target, so let's not even bother. Let's not even bother. I don't want, the pressure that comes with trying to hit 1 million targets, because that's the only way you're going to get your 10% cut or your 20% cut that they promised you. That's the way you're also going to get your basic salary. Just like, no, I don't want this. I can't do it. I don't know how to, I don't want to put myself under pressure. So all of those were reasons why I hated marketing. All right. If you can relate to this, then let me know in the comment section. How many of you were like me? And how many of you are even still like me? All right. Because over the years, I have had to now renew my mind to then begin to see, can there be a different approach to marketing? Can there be, or is there a different approach to marketing and to selling that does not look like this one, where someone is like putting a gun to your head and trying to just make you buy what you don't want, all right? And it's in that process that I have found content marketing. It's in that same process that I found this sales approach that I want to show you tonight, that is so beautiful that you're going to be selling to somebody and they would not really think that you are selling. They'll feel so good about actually signing the check or making the transfer. And the beautiful part is, if you have always run from marketing and selling, now that you are a business owner, newsflash, you can't hate marketing. You can't hate selling, or else you will be broke. Can I say that again? You cannot be a business owner and hate marketing and selling. You will be broke. You will be broke. Because the whole idea of business is to make profit. And the only way you get to make profit is to sell. And the only way you get to sell is to market. All right? So all the targets and commission you have been running away from before, oh, finally, back to trying to hit targets. Okay, so in the last trading session, I asked how many, all of you, what's your financial goal for the year? And some of you said $10,000. Newsflash, there is almost no way you're going to make that money if you don't sell. There is no way you're going to sell enough to make that money if you don't fall in love with marketing and sales. So guys, if you have always hated marketing because of all the, the notions you have always had, the experiences you have had with marketers, now it's time for you to renew your mind, fall in love with marketing, and possibly redefine your own approach to marketing, all right? So that you don't always, hated when you see, which is like the traditional marketers, right? The only antidote to poverty is to sell. And when I say sell, it necessarily does not mean you have to be a business person. See, even if you're a 9-to-5er, you do corporate, you're a corporate employee, you're still selling. Because when you are invited for an interview, for example, and you're sitting before the HR and the MD and some of the people they put in the interview panel, what you are expected to do in that interview session is to sell yourself more than every other person that comes for the interview. Because the only way you're going to get the job is that you must persuade the interview panel that you are qualified enough for the job above other person. And that's why in most job description or application, do you think that you are the best candidate for this job? I know Urala can relate with all of that. Urala is an HR person, all right? So they say, why do you think you are the best candidate for this job? What they're asking you to do is to sell yourself. If you cannot sell yourself enough convincingly, you may be so good at the job, And that's why people go for interview. One person is so good at the job, the other person is not so good, but he or she was so good at communicating their value. In fact, they communicated what they can do and they were very impressive. But this other person is so good but very timid. They ask question, he does not have an answer. No confidence, no boldness, no substance, and in the end, the job goes to the person that is less qualified because they persuaded the panel that they are the right candidates for the job. So whether you are a business person or you are a 9 to 5 employee, you must sell. Only way you will be able to make money. That is the only antidote to poverty. All right. I hope that sinks in very well. You must fall in love with marketing and selling. There is no other way around it. Men and brethren. There is no alternative. Now that you're also a personal brand, you have your own business, you're self-employed, or you run a proper business. I mean, you fall in love with marketing and selling. So let's get into the heart of the conversation. What exactly is selling? All right. What is selling? I don't know what definitions you have had about selling, but I'm going to give you again definitions that speak to what I want to share with you tonight. All right. Because my goal is to actually renew your mind and give you a different approach. All right. So selling is the art of creating feel like buying. All right. Selling is the art of what? Of creating an environment, creating the atmosphere where people feel like buying. And that's the selling that I want to show you tonight. And that's the content marketing approach to selling, to marketing and to selling. You're creating an enabling environment where people joyfully feel like buying what you sell. How many of you know that, for all of, how many of you use iPhone in this place? I use Android for life. I'm team Android for life. Yeah, I've used iPhone before though. I'm also thinking of buying an iPhone, so, but I think I'm more or less like an Android person. But okay, so if you are team Android, let me know in the comments. If you are team iPhone, let me know in the comment section. I was actually going to say that, do you know that Apple, people joyfully go and spend 1 million for Nigerians now. People joyfully go and spend 1 million, 700K, 1.5 million, 2 million on buying an Apple iPhone. And you wonder sometimes why? Because they just feel good about using an iPhone. See, go and ask iPhone users. Some of them cannot give you a very logical reason for why they have an iPhone. All right? And that's why I find that almost every young person that you see around, they just want an iPhone. I mean, I see young guys, 16, 17, 18, and they're using iPhone 8. They're using, what are those iPhone brands? Is it XM or XMAS or something? I don't know. All right? They're using iPhones. Everybody just wants to have an iPhone. It's a feeling. It's not logical. It's not logical for a secondary school student who is in SS1, SS2 having an iPhone 8. Except the parents are rich, but most of the people I see with iPhones, all of these young people, they have parents that are not, really rich like that. They are not really rich. Their parents are struggling. And even they themselves. And sometimes I wonder, how did these people get the money to buy this? But they just get the money somehow and they go put all of that. Ace Mary, which one is Team Small Phone again? What is that? All right. They just gather all the money, over 100K, and then they go buy the phone. It is just about the feeling. And iPhone has done this, Apple has done this so well over the years that as soon as there's a new, upgrade on the iPhone products, people are already doing everything they can to go get the latest iPhone in town. So selling is like that. It's like creating an environment where people feel like buying, not where you're forcing people to buy. And one of the ways you make that happen is you uncover the value of what you have to offer so that people are willing to give you their money. All right. People see the value and they're like, oh, man, I want this. All right. I want this. Some of them can go as far as. So let me give you a gist. And I'm saying this now from the perspective of a pro marketer and a pro salesperson now. All right. But you know, in 2020, I told you about Steve Harris, the first session. That was the first training I ever took. I mean, when it comes to online, you know, business and all that. And that was like the training that changed my life. Of course, I've taken more expensive training after that. Yeah, and I can make reference to the impact they made in my life. But this was and it was impactful. Can I tell you something? When I came across Steve Harris and then kept following his brand, and I followed him for a few months before I finally bought the program. Yeah, and I kept seeing his brand, seeing what it does, seeing the results it gets for people. It just got to a point I just desire to have products. I just desire to get on the program. And when the courts finally opened and I was broke. BROKE in caps lock, because I resigned my job in 2019 December. I mean, I told my story in the first session. I was in debt. I had no savings. I had nothing to fall back on. So, and I needed to buy the course. It was 150K. I didn't even have 1,500 naira. I was owing a lot of banks. So what did I do? I took another loan. I took a one loan to get on the program. Why? Because the person selling the program had so uncovered the value of the program that I wanted it at all costs. I also had a conviction in my heart, all right? My intuition was telling me that this was going to change my life, all right? So aside from the fact that he's done a good job, I tell you, he did a good job to show why you need the course, all right? So aside from that, I also had a weakness in my spirit that that course was going to change my life. So I took a loan and I got the course. And did the course change my life? What Steve Harris was able to do, uncover the value of what he was offering so that I was willing to pay for it. And to the extent that even though I did not have the money to myself or by myself, I went every length to ensure that I got on the program. That is proper pro selling, where you uncover the value of your product or your service to the extent that the other person can sit, they feel it. I want to buy this. And you know, so if we're going to summarize all of the selling is persuasion. Selling is not convincing. It's not convincing. Yeah, it's not convincing. Convincing is when you try to get people to buy for your own reason. And what's your reason? You want money. What's your reason? I mean, so let me now call back the person who sent me a cold pitch this week. He sent me a cold pitch. So he said, I saw your brand. It's impressive. Okay. I mean, she's trying to... I wish I can speak Yoruba freely. You know, there's something I would have loved to say. But she was trying to patronize me, something like that. You know, that's like the street word. You say somebody is trying to patronize you. But I would have loved to say it in the, you know, the vernacular part of it. You know, so she was trying to patronize me. And after she said that, she said, oh, I want you. Those were the words she used, though. More or less like she was saying that she wants a job, you know, and all of that, that she wants a job, that she's a writer, she wants research job and all of that, all of that, all of that, and all of that, all of that, all of that. And she was really trying so hard to convince me, you know, to give her a job because she says she's a student, she needs money and all of that. Persuasion, that is not selling. That is convincing, trying to get people to buy what you're selling for your own personal reason. It may be legit reason. For example, you want to make money. That's a legit reason. Get me to buy what you're selling because you want to make money. Then you are approaching selling the wrong way. I will not be persuaded to buy what you're selling for your own reason. Persuasion happens when you get me to feel like buying, not for your own reason, but for my own reason. All right? So persuasion is getting people to buy what you're selling because of the reason that they have already decided in their own minds and that you have helped them to see. Not trying so hard to get them to buy because you just want to hit your own targets. And you know, that's what like the traditional marketers do. The bank has given the marketer 1 million target for the month. So the marketer is doing everything to get you to buy because he wants to meet the 1 million target. It's not necessarily because of you. That is not a proper way to sell. So selling is persuasion. It is not convincing. Convincing is doing so hard. You're doing hard work just to make me to see. Buy now, buy now. And I'm like, I don't want to buy. I don't need what you're selling. But persuasion is when you can uncover the value of what you're selling, that I'm like, oh, I want this, all right? And even if I don't have the money, like I did in 2020, I will go take a loan. All right? And you know, the beautiful part is this aspect of selling, which is persuasion, all of us do it almost every day. Raise your hand in the comment section if you have recommended somebody in the last 3 months. Have you recommended somebody in the last 3 months for a job, for a business, for a sales, just for something? Have you recommended anybody in the last 3 months? I figured out that when we do recommendations like that for other people, we do it so passionately. Why? In most cases, because we know the people, maybe they are family members, or we have used their service before, or we have bought their product before, and it was valuable. So when somebody just walks up to you and say, oh, I need a graphics designer, oh, you be like, oh, relax. I have a graphics designer. His name is XYZ. He works for me. If you see his designs, they are impeccable. Let me give you his number. Ensure that you work with him. Oh. So we do all of that. We sell for other people. We convince, we persuade other people to buy. We persuade people to buy from other people. But when it comes to our own brand, many of us cannot show off our brand. That's with that same energy. We show off for other people's brand with so much energy, persuading the person that is asking for a recommendation that get this person, use this person. But when it comes to our own brand, we don't show up with the same energy. So we sell every day. See, so we understand that selling is not only when money changes hand. Selling is not when you ask people for money. Selling is anytime you try to persuade somebody to see reasons with you or to do something and they end up doing it, you have sold them. All right? That's why you find out that people say, oh, I'm sold on the idea. I'm sold on the idea. I'm sold on the idea means somebody presented an idea to you and it was so persuasive that you bought the idea. You didn't pay money for the idea, but you are on the same page. You're like, oh, man, go for it. I support you. Anything you need, I'm here for you. Because the person sold you in on the idea. So we sell every day. You convince your spouse or those of you that are not married, my virtual assistant is married. So you convince your husband every time, oh, let's do it this way. Oh, let's buy this for our baby. Let's do this and that. But when it now comes to asking people for money, in terms of selling yourself, some people find it difficult to sell. But going over what I said about selling is the heart of creating an environment where people feel like buying. All right? Not when people are conned to buy, when they feel like buying. You've created the feelings, the emotion, and then they gladly want to part with their money for the value that you have uncovered, that you have shown them that you want to offer them, and they just want it. All right? So now let's make some progress. Is this making sense? Oh, it's going to make more sense now. Why must you sell or market daily? See, I am of this opinion that as a personal brand, as a business person, you must market daily, you must sell daily. You must market daily, you must sell daily. And I'm going to I want to try to persuade you to see why you must think like a professional marketer and a salesperson every day. Number one, we spend money every day. People take your money every day and they don't feel remorseful. They don't feel bad. They take your money every day. You go to work, you spend money on transport, you spend money on buying food, you spend money on data, you spend money on airtime. There's no time you go into your bank app to do 10,000 data, even though you are squeezing your face, it's not convenient for you. But you just need data. MTN is not feeling bad that they are collecting your money. Then why is it that when it comes to you collecting other people's money, you're always feeling bad or scared? Whereas people are collecting your own money every day without any guilt, without any feeling of remorse or shame or fear. So you spend money every day, so it makes sense for you to also want to make money every day. I mean, if you're an adult, put that one in the comment section. Bills are real. Life is biliamino. You may not understand that if you're not Yoruba. Life is biliamino. Bill. Hamino. All right? So it's bills every day. You're paying light bills. You're paying for transport. You're paying for house rent. I mean, I just paid my house rent some weeks back. And it was, I mean, every time it's house rent time, every year, there's always a way you feel. All right. But of course, if you have planned for it, you won't feel like, I mean, it won't feel very burdensome. But however you plan for it, taking out 6-7 figures to pay for rent every year sometimes feels like, oh, see my money going away. All right. But it's the adult life. Adulthood is about bills. All right. And we spend money every day. Some of you spend 100K, I mean, every day on different things. So if you spend money every day, men and brethren, it makes sense for you to make money every day. So I'm giving you the first reason why you must sell every day. People are collecting money from you every day. So why are you scared to collect money from other people? All right. So I want to actually work on your mentality and your mindset. If people collect your money every day, they don't feel remorseful, they don't feel bad. I mean, there's not so I want to buy and I'm going to collect Chineye's money. If he wants money now, I feel bad that I'm going to collect their money. In fact, they are smiling. They are smiling because they're happy. They're happy because they are collecting your money. But you, when it comes to you collecting other people's money, you're timid, you're fearful, you're scared. You can't put your offer out and ask for money. All right? So why are you scared to collect other people's money when people are not scared to collect your money? So number 2, the second reason you must daily, that you must put on salesperson cap every day. If your product is valuable, you are doing the world a disservice if you keep quiet. All right? If your product is valuable, if it can deliver value, it's not like you're scamming people. It's not like, oh, you promise people, oh, I will take you from, the earth to planet Mercury. But after they pay you money, you can't deliver. But if your product delivers results, it's a disservice to the world if you keep quiet. Let's say, for example, one of the current incurable diseases we have in the world currently is HIV and AIDS. All right, it can be managed, but it has no cure currently. All right, so and then you've been doing your research for 10 years, and finally you found the cure to HIV/AIDS. You are being unkind, being wicked, if you keep quiet and you keep watching other people die as a result of the virus. You must speak up. You must, oh, I have found the cure. Come and buy the cure. But if you keep quiet, you're doing the world a disservice. The same way, in the same vein, if what you do as a service provider, you're a customer service person, and the companies you work for, your customer service is so impeccable that they experience 70 to 80% customer loyalty increase. I mean, they retain their customers, people are buying, customers are feeling satisfied. Why must you keep quiet? Why will you keep quiet? All right? And people have this notion that if I build something that is good, people will come. Oh, you are deceiving yourself. All right? You are deceiving yourself. One of my lecturers doing my master's business that does not prioritize is like a boy or a man that is winking to a lady in the dark. It will never be noticed. All right? Imagine that you are winking to a person, to a lady in the dark. Both of you are in the dark and you are winking to the girl. You like the girl. I mean, I think that's what winking, that's what it conveys, right? When you wink to a person, it's like, oh, I like you, something like that. I hope I'm not wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know. All right? But if you're doing that, then it makes no brain. The person is not going to see you. So if you have a business and you don't take marketing serious, you will not be noticed. So there's nothing like, oh, if I build something good enough, people will come. No, they won't come because they would not know that you exist. All right. Then number 3, when you are marketing or selling, you are helping, because selling is an exchange of value. So like number 2, if you have figured out the value that your service delivers, then when you're selling or you are marketing, you are giving out value. You are helping somebody. And that's some good reason for you to feel good about yourself, about what you're doing. All right. And like I said, except your product or your service is not tested and proven, except your product and service does not deliver what you say it delivers, then that is when you should be afraid to sell. But if you are who you say you are and your service is what you say it is, then you have no reason to keep quiet about that awesomeness and that value that you bring to the table. Is this making sense? It's making video. People are collecting your money day. So secrets to selling. All right, this is the app. I'm going to give you 3 secrets to selling. Secret number 1, reframe selling in your mind, marketing and selling. All right. You now need to renew your mind from that picture that has been painted in your mind as you were growing up about marketers and about salespeople. All right. And then reframe that picture in your mind and see selling as service or caring for other people. All right. You are selling. If you're selling, you're caring for people. And like I said, once you have figured out that what you do offers value, I stressed so much on value in the last session when I was describing an offer. Your offer has to be something that is valuable to the target audience. And if your offer is valuable, then you are caring for them. Let's use the analogy of the person who finds the cure to HIV again. So I found the cure to HIV, and there is somebody in front of me who is already dying because the virus has gone from HIV, to AIDS. And then I have the cure. When I give them the cure, what am I doing? I am caring for them. I am serving them. And by that analogy, you are no longer seeing yourself as a con man, someone holding the gun to people's head and just trying to get them to part with their money. You are collecting money, and you are glad to be collecting the money because you just served somebody, you just helped somebody. So you should feel good the most because you are the person that is helping. You are the senior man in this arrangement. All right. I just use senior man. It's like a street slang. When you greet someone, say senior man. All right. So many of you are selling and you are feeling like the lesser person in the relationship because you are the one asking for money. Whereas this person is getting results with what you are offering them. You are the senior person in the relationship and you must feel like that. You must carry yourself that way. So look at the screenshots on in the slide. So I'm going to quickly narrate what happened to these 2 persons. Wuraola is in this training, so you know Toyo very well. We went to school together. So certain time in, I think it was 2022, this person, my friend, we were having a conversation on Facebook, DMs, talking about different things, about life, ministry, and then we got to business part. I'm like, oh, so what are you doing lately? She said she perfected her skill and all that. So if you look at the screen, I told her, I'm like, oh, brilliant. I think it is high time you take Upwork serious. There are YouTube video editor jobs that, and she was like, oh, I just opened Upwork yesterday. I don't know how to make the best of the platform yet, because definitely when you get to it's just like LinkedIn now. If you open a LinkedIn account, everybody's saying join LinkedIn, but when you join LinkedIn, what if you don't know how to go about, how to go around it? And that's why we have courses, we have communities and all that. So she's like, oh, funny enough, coincidentally, she's like, oh, I just opened Upwork yesterday, but I don't even know how to, make the best use of it. So I'm still trying to do research here and there. So I'm like, relax, it's time to learn. So she was not like, you have any material in mind? I said, no, I do not have any material, that I can give you, but I have a training. And yeah, we have a training. It's called the Digital Millionaire. In that training, we teach people how to use LinkedIn and Upwork. All right. I teach the LinkedIn part. My partner, Julius Omokono, teaches the Upwork part. Julius Omokono is a top-rated Upwork freelancer. He has made over $80,000 working on Upwork. So he's the one that teaches Upwork in the course. So I'm like, oh, we have a training. It's called the Digital Millionaire. You might be interested. She was like, oh, how much is the training? I said 7,500. She's like, oh, I just used, all my money for something else. I'm going to look for the money and send it to you. I money now. I sent her the link, the seller link. She went there. She bought the course, and we got into the program. So the program live training before we turned it into a watch along course. I mean, we turned it to an online course. So she took the training. 2 months down the line, if you see the other screenshot in the middle, she sent me a message on WhatsApp. Oh, Coach D, yada yada yada. I got my first gig on Upwork from Spain, $100. So guys, help their life. my program, I told her, oh, I have a training for 7.5. I was helping, I was caring for her. She just opened Upwork yesterday. She does not know how to use Upwork. And I was trying to show her how to use Upwork. And she learned how to use Upwork. And our first is a $400 gig. 7,500 for a program. And then making 400 help their life. All right. So when you're selling your product as what? As you are serving, you're caring for people. So you offer, the more people you are helping. So stop feeling like, oh, you are duping people, you are conning people out of their hard-earned resources. No, I'm helping them. And I'm the senior man again in this relationship because I'm the one that just helped somebody from clueless at making money from their skills, help them to get their first $100. That was far back as 2022. Toyo is doing so well with that skill now. All right. So when I'm selling, look at the other person, Okenwa. Okenwa reached out to me on LinkedIn. I think it was also 2022 or 2023. Okenwa had been on Upwork for like 11 months. It's based in Cambodia. All right. Cambodia should be maybe Asia or North America. I can't remember. It's based in Cambodia. He's been on Upwork. He's been applying for jobs, buying connects, of course, because he's abroad now. So he's working, then he has money to be buying connects. He's buying connects, sending, proposals, sending proposals. He got no single offer. Sometimes you even get somebody that says, oh, we're interested in your offer. Then you talk and finally you don't agree. Then you disengage. But he never got one person to say, oh, we like what you are doing. So he reached out to me on LinkedIn. Oh, I think I'm interested. He reached out. He paid for the training. We were 10 days, just 10 days into the 2 weeks training, 10 days into the training when Okenwa landed his first client on Upwork. All right? It was a $20 per hour job. His first client after 11 months of hustling on Upwork and getting no result. So again, what did I just do? What did our program just do? Our program just helped somebody. So I don't go about, when I tell people about my programs, my courses, my coaching program, I don't go about feeling like a fraud. See, these things have gotten results for people. So when I tell you about my product, I tell you because I know I want to help your life. It's as simple as that. I'm the senior man in this bigger person. So Okenwa said this the last post I made on Friday, which is the one where somebody was saying they were searching on Google for something, and then my article was the first. So in that post, Okenwa made this statement in the comment section. Hello, Olaleko Ajayi. I got students for you. My social media are paying now. Thanks for your social media class. So that's still somebody. Well, I didn't go and put a gun to his head to come and write this testimonial. He wrote it in the face of the public. Why? Because he paid 7,500 in 2022, and he has made so much over and over again from that money. So when I market my program to you, I am caring for you, helping you. So I do not feel like a fraud. I feel very excited. I feel very calm. All right. So the first secret of selling is you must reframe how you see selling. When you're selling to people, you are helping them. You're giving them an opportunity to experience transformation. So you are a caregiver, you are a helper. There's this song we sing in Nigeria, my helper, oh, my helper. So you are their helper. You are the bigger person in the relationship. I hope this is doing something. Scared about selling. This session is actually first. So let's go to the secret of the seconds of selling. Let me give you another code for where you're selling. So my screen is loading. I don't know what's wrong with the network today. Okay, so the second secret of selling, I want to show you the science of selling and the art part of it. All right. So the delivery system is the science. For example, when you're selling on LinkedIn, LinkedIn is the science part of selling. Whether you're hosting a webinar and you want to make a pitch at the end of the webinar, that's the science. If you're writing an email newsletter and you want to sell, that again is the science. Those are like the technical parts of how you communicate your message. But the magic is not in the platform, all right? The magic is not in whether you are selling on LinkedIn or you're doing a webinar or you're doing email. The magic is actually in the heart, the ART, the messaging and the emotions you are able to create in the mind of your potential target audience. And that's why I said is what is creating an enabling environment where people feel like buying. It is uncovering the value of what you're selling to the point that people say they want what you're selling. And you do that through what? Through words. Words that convey emotions. And I'm going to show you a few things. Number one, whenever you want to sell, enter the conversation that is already going on in the minds of your target audience. That's the only way you're going to get their attention. So see, every potential customer, they're already thinking. You know, when we're doing buyer's journey, we saw the awareness stage where people have finally discovered that they have a problem and to learn about the solution to the problem. So they are doing some thinking, or there's a conversation already going on in their mind. The only way you're going to be able to pitch them what you're saying, you can enter into that conversation. For example, when I put up a post for this challenge, what I did was to enter into the conversation that is in the minds of most of you. And what was the conversation? As the year was ending in 2024 and you were entering into 2025, many of you were already having conversations with yourself that, oh, in the year 2025, I'm going to take LinkedIn very serious. I'm going to be more consistent. I'm going to show up for myself. So that conversation was already going on in your mind. What I simply did the day I made the first post was that what? I entered into that conversation that is already going on in your mind. And that is why you must know your audience. Again, that is why I gave you the task, the second training. Go and research the aspirations of your target audience, their pain points, and their challenges. That is the conversation going on in their mind. So the only way you're going to get them is to enter into that conversation. All right. Is this making sense? I'm sharing this. Okay, number two, solve problems they are facing now. Solve the problems they are facing now. All right. If your offer, if you're not communicating, solution to the problem they are facing, you will not get them to desire what you want to sell to them. All right. So your messaging must be what? Must be, you have entered the conversation in their mind. They have problems. They have challenges. They have pain points. All right. Somebody say aspiration, pain points, and challenges. Aspiration, pain points, and challenges. All right. So you have entered into the conversation going on in their mind. They have a problem. They have challenges. They have aspirations they are trying to fulfill. They don't know. Offer them a solution. Offer them a solution. See, when someone has a problem and they see that you're offering them what looks like a solution, they will follow you. They will follow you to anywhere. They will do anything you ask them to do. All right. So the art part of selling is to ensure that you are communicating to the. So when you enter the conversation that is already going on in their mind, then offer them solutions to their problem. Number three, understand them. Not when you want want to get them to understand you. What many people do when they want to market or sell is they are trying so hard you to understand them. I would get to the practical aspect of having sales conversation with people. I will only from you when I feel like, oh, you understand me, man. You understand me. Look at how you describe my problem. Look at how you understand my going through. You understand my aspirations like you are me. So when you finally say, oh, I have something that can help you, I'll be like, no, this guy understands me. I trust him. It's so hard to get people to understand your speech. You jump on a sales call with somebody, and in 30 minutes, you have dropped you have dropped a full scarp sales speech for them. You're trying to get them to understand how your product works, how your services can take them from guttermost to uttermost. All right? People will not buy from you because in the end, they will leave the sales call feeling like you don't understand them. You don't really get them. Get you, yeah? Maybe they get you. They understand, oh, that your product is 6 modules. And, the 6 modules is 3 months. They get you that you are charging them $1,000. But they don't feel like you get them. So because they don't feel like you get them, they won't buy from you. So people will buy from you when they feel like you understand. And I'm going to show you how to really make people feel like, oh, you get them. All right? It's a different approach from the common sales approach that you see around. So people will buy from you when they feel like, oh, Chinenye understands what I'm going through. All right? You have gotten them to the point where they feel like, oh man, come and take my money. Yeah, you understand me, you get me, I see it. You get me, come and have my money. I'm going back to an irresistible offer. I mentioned that and I taught that in the last training session, but it's so important. The only way you're going to sell is if your offer is a no-brainer. What do we call a no-brainer? I mean, you're offering something to somebody and they feel like, man, this thing makes no, if I don't buy this thing, it makes no sense. If I don't buy this thing, I'll be so stupid to not buy. You get it? All right? If I don't buy this thing, they'll just feel like, oh, man, I'm a fool if I don't take this offer. All right? That's what we call an irresistible offer. And it is to provide something that gets people the result and the outcomes that they desire. You must communicate your offer in such a way that gets me results. Exactly the result that I'm looking to get, not the result that you think you want to help me get. All right? So I'm going to say 7 things. Again, this is like an addition to what I said. They are still somehow related to the things I said, but something else to help you rethink your offers again. Number 1, when you're presenting your offer, ensure that your offer is meeting your target audience where they are. And that's why you must understand what have they tried that is not working. All right, because if they have tried a product like yours before and it did not work, and you come again, you are just pouring your pitch upon them, they are trying to see, I hope this thing is not like what I tried before that did not work. But you will not know until you understand them, until you really, really hear from them. All right? And that's why when you get on a sales call, don't just be dropping pitches on people. People send you a DM, they're asking about your product. Before you know it, you have told them 30 lines. You just want them to buy. Relax, calm down, all right? It's a better approach. Number 2, build their confidence and push for action. So in the conversation, ensure that you build their confidence in you or in the solution that you are offering them. Because see, why do people not buy? It's because they have doubts, they have objections. And you have not succeeded in what? In helping them to nullify the objections. I hope you know, faith is a belief. Doubt is also a belief. All right? It's a belief in negative outcomes. So if you are trying to sell me and you have not made me really see that, oh, what you're selling me will give me positive action, I will be doubtful. I'll be like, oh, I hope this is not one of these scammers. You pay them now and you don't get any results. So I will turn down your offer. So your goal is to build confidence in me that I can see your offer and be confident in your offer. Then number 3, let them see where to start and what's next. I mean, make it so simple that they get you. Okay, so what's the next step? All right. So after this step, what's next? When can I expect to get results? All right. Number 4, overcome their objections. As a salesperson, you must anticipate the objections of your customers. You must anticipate it. And then you must scatter the objections before they raise them. Because see, if you your pitch and they raise 5 objections, see, it will be a very defeat those objections. So if you preempt the objections and in the sales conversation, you cancel all of them. I mean, in the question, in the way you're answering and all that, you have canceled all the objections. When it's time to now do your call to action, ask them to buy. They will buy gladly and joyfully because you have successfully nullified all the objections. And only an irresistible offer can do so. And I'll show you how to do that. Number 5, give them what they want and what they need. Let's use an example. So it's the beginning of the year. Some people have set goals for this year. They want summer body. Summer body is, that's, figure 8 glass shaped kind of body. All right, that's what they want. So when you want to sell, focus more on what they want. All right, focus more on what they want. And when they now say yes, give them what they need. All right, because see, we know that if you want to have a banging body or a summer body or a glass shaped body, then before you can get that body, you probably need to eat the gym, to watch your diet. To get that body, you will now start eating very little quantity. The person is feeling like, maybe the person likes food. You're already feeling like, how am I going to survive this? You will need to exercise for 3 hours a day. The person is already feeling discouraged. No, I don't want. I want a glass body. All right. So appeal to what they want and give them what they need. All right. Number 6, create value and a price that they cannot say no to. Just like I said, make it a no-brainer of what you're offering. The value of what you're offering, the price you are charging them is just a no-brainer. All right. And only an irresistible offer can do that. You saw what I said in the last training and the elements that I listed out. I mean, when you stack up the bonuses and everything, and it looks like, you're giving them a $6,000 product or service for just $100 or $60. They just feel like this is a no-brainer. I must get this. Then finally, when you're creating an irresistible offer, ensure that you're creating what you wish you had. Because in most cases, most of your customers are exactly where you used to be before. And so what exactly did you not have when you were at their level that you wish you had? Because that's basically what they wish they have right now. And if you can sell them that, they will buy from you. All right? My 3 secrets. So I think we're getting to the practical scenarios now. If you run a service or you do a business that you get on discovery calls or clarity calls with people before they buy from you, let me know in the comment section. All right? Or maybe you sell a service that people need to reach you in the DM before you persuade them to buy. Let me know in the comment section. All right? For example, if you're selling high ticket offers, well, let's just call it high ticket. Even though 500K is not really high ticket. Actually, when you talk amongst the American people, high ticket is like, let's say $5,000, $10,000, $50,000 products. I mean, $5,000 in Nigeria now is how many millions now? That's probably 8 or 9 million. All right. So ideally, 1,000 naira product is not really ticket. 100K product is not high ticket. But in the context of the Nigerian market, well, 500K products or service, because people will think and think again before they send you their 500K. All right. So if you run a service or a business where people need to get on a clarity call with you to understand what you're selling first before they buy, then you want to pay attention. How can you conversations? Can you ace those conversations? So somebody reached out to you in the DM, or they went to your Calendly link or your Coachly link and they booked a call with you to get to know more about your offering and your product and service, and then maybe 15 to 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, whatever your minutes are. When you get on the call, how do you ensure that you have a fantastic sales call that at the end of the call, people say yes to your offering. All right. When people come to your DM or when they book a call, don't always be a salesman. All right. Don't always put on your salesperson cap. Be a researcher. All right. Be a researcher, not a. Somebody comes to your DM and say, "Oh, I saw that you talked about your web design XYZ," and they come to your DM. Don't automatically just wear your salesperson cap and just begin to say, "Oh, our website, we have 3 offers. You know, one package is this and that and this and that." No, 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 no. You're doing sales the wrong way. So Grace Abasirim says, "My business requires consultation first." Brilliant. You should be able to relate with this. And even if your business does not require consultation, wanting to find out about your products, when they reach out to you, don't become a salesman all of a sudden and begin to drop your pitch on them. Do not give a sales pitch. Don't do it. You will appear desperate to your target audience. You will appear very desperate. And don't forget again, people buy from those that they feel understands them. So don't just go about dropping your sales pitch. You want them to really get your service. You want them to really get what you are selling. No, don't go about it that way. Be a researcher. A conversation with. That is the way to be in the driving sales conversation. Ask questions. All right. So somebody booked a call with you, and then you get on the call. Let me give you. I mean, how many of you have been on the call with me before? If you have been on the call with me before, let me know in the comment section. Like you have been on a clarity session or a consultation or strategy session with me before, and you will see that this is my typical approach to calls like that. So I jump on a call with somebody from US. I still spoke with a lady from a Filipino lady who is based in US. I mean, some days back. And when we get on the call, the first thing I'm doing is, "Oh, how are you doing? Oh, where are you? All right, where are you based?" They tell me, "Oh, I'm in America." Oh, I'm like, "Oh, good." But when I saw your name, so I saw her name. I saw that her name was like Xiang or something like that. It sounded Chinese. It's all right. So I'm like, "You're in US, but your name sounds like, or your name looks like." And then she told me, "Oh, I'm from Philippines." She told me. I mean, when you ask questions, people will open up to you. They will feel so relaxed and they'll begin to talk. So I asked her, "Oh, your name does not sound like you're an American. So what are you doing in America?" So she said she's a Filipino and she's in America because her son gained admission to college and she came with him. I mean, to stay with him. I don't know why she came with an adult to come and to come and study, but she had him. All right. So I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." All right. So me about her son and about why she sales conversation. All right. Then I'm like, "Oh, so how are you settling into US? How many months have you been in US?" So she told me she's like 6 months in US. "How long are you going to be in US?" Then she's like, she's going to be there like for 3 years. Oh, and then I got her to feel comfortable. Then I now got into the reason why we came on the call. And then I began to ask questions. "Okay, so what do you do?" All right, now that in US, what do you do? Oh, she says she has so she manages online. She has managers and all that. Okay, so now that we're on this call and we want to talk about writing. So what's writing like about for you? So you say, "Oh, I've been writing from when I was a child. I mean, I write poems, I write books, but I have just never made something good out of it. So I just want to get on this call and, get to see how you can help me and all that." So I'm like, "Oh, okay, so have you written anything professional before?" Then I'm asking one question after the other. Guess who is in charge of the conversation? I am in charge of the conversation, all right? I'm the person in the driving seat. They are doing more talking. I'm doing less talking. But what they don't know is that as I'm asking them information, they are arming me with information that I will use to land my final blow, which is the sales pitch. Guys, that is how to sell like a pro. Don't get on sales calls and sales conversation and then you are presenting a slide deck and then 30 minutes you are still running your sales speech. No. Get to understand the target audience. Get to understand them. Ask them, what is their aspiration? What are they desiring to achieve? Let them tell you about their business. For example, I know Ayomidia Edu, you're a business analyst. When you get on a sales call with somebody, let them tell you about their business. Don't just get into your own, experience and all that. See, if you follow this approach, in the end, your experience may not even matter. All right. So get them to talk about, oh, what are they trying to do? Okay, so what's the challenge they are facing right now? What's the pain point and all that? Let them talk. And see, everybody loves to talk when you make them feel comfortable and when you make the conversation about them and not about you. They feel like, oh, this person really wants to understand me. All right. And then they are talking. And then they are talking. Whereas they don't know that what you're doing too much information. Such that even if the offer that you will now finally make them, it is the information that you have given them, that they have given you, that you will now use to make them an offer. And at that point, they will offer. Do not be a salesman. Be a questionnaire. I mean, okay, questionnaire is like it. The way to actually be in charge of the conversation is to ask questions. Is the person actually in charge? See, they will be doing the most talking, and they will think they are the ones in charge. They will think, oh, this call is just about me. All right, they are talking and they are talking. You ask them a question, they talk for 5 minutes. Then you ask them another one, they talk for 7 minutes. Because they are the one, just flowing. They will feel like they are the ones in charge, but really, you are the person that is in charge. So your goal in the conversation is to understand the client, to understand them before you finally make them an offer. If you make them an offer before you understand them, your offer may miss the target. But if you understand them and you now, based on your offer, can never miss the target. All right? You would have gathered all the info you need to make them a pitch. It will be like when you are watching a boxing competition and then the other person lands a very heavy blow and the person goes down. All right. So when you actually use this approach, you're going to sell like a pro. All right. The person will not even know where you are going to, and they will not see your final blow coming at all. They will not see it coming. And then number two, you would have also helped them to see the need for your offer by themselves. They would have painted the picture of their experience, and they would have painted the picture of how that. So in most cases, when I get on a sales call with you, after I've asked you a lot of questions, I will now finally ask you, what do you think you need right now? See, it is by themselves that they will tell you, I need somebody to coach me or mentor me or to help me go from this place to where I want to get to. And then finally, I will make them a pitch based on everything they have told me. As they are telling me, in most cases, when I get on a sales call, I'm with my book. As you're telling me, I'm writing, I'm taking notes. All right. As a matter of fact, I tell them before the sales call. So I'm going to tell them, as you're talking, I'm going to be looking down once in a while. I'm not distracted. I'm with you. I'm actually taking note of the things you're saying so that I don't forget. And after they finish talking, usually I will say, oh, if I heard you correctly, you said this. One of the things you must do on sales calls is that you must listen attentively. Don't be distracted. Don't be quieting your mind and just listen. Talking, you say, oh, if I heard you correctly, I think that you say is this. If you recount so impressed, like, oh yes, correct, you heard me correctly, then I ask them, okay, so I'm going to ask you another question. Yeah, I'm going to ask you another question. What is this and this and this and this? Then they talk for another 5 minutes, and when they are done, I say, oh, okay, so if I heard you correctly, I mean correct. Or they say yes, it's correct. Then I ask them ask questions, and then I ask the final one. Okay, so right now, where you are now, what do you think you need exactly? All right. Sometimes they will tell you, oh, exactly what you want them to do. And sometimes they will tell you something they think they need, which is really not what they need. It is now you that will come in and then land that final blow. All right. So I see your question, Akanimo. I will answer your question later. If you have any other question too, please ask in the comment. Oh, I think I should even answer it now before going to the next slide. All right. So again, I wish we had the time. This is the last training, but I would have taught you prospecting. There's something we call prospecting, leads generation, then prospecting. How do you, prospect people? That prospecting is to weigh the people that come in into your DM or come in on your sales call to quickly know whether this person is a potential client or this person is just a mismatch. All right. And in the process of prospecting, I mean, it takes some experience to do this, but if you have been selling for a while, you will know this very easily. In the process of prospecting, you will figure out at what stage of the customer journey this person is. So there are clients that they are already at the final bus stop of their customer journey. They don't want stories. All right. They don't need many stories. I mean, they've gotten to the last bus stop. They just want to swipe their card. They just want to make transfer. If you now get to that kind of conversation and you're now asking plenty of questions, you have lost that market. At that point, call to action straight. No long talk. All right? No long talk at all. So somebody comes to your DM and say, oh, I see your offer. I want to buy. The question you should be asking them is, oh, do you want to transfer or do you want to go to our sales page? No long talk. Which one is easier for you? Don't now begin to say, oh, then you ask 5 questions and 10 questions. The person will be like, I say I want to give you money. Why are you asking too many questions? So as you gain more experience in the sales approach or in the sales process, you will begin to know, I mean, just from experience, at what stage a customer or a potential customer is at right now, so that you will know, does this person still need some questioning or some, helping to get them to the last bus stop, or this person is already at the last bus stop. They're already at the last stage of the customer journey. They don't need much talk. They just want to buy. Get them to buy immediately. Don't engage them in too much talk. You will even discourage them with those talk. All right. So it's about knowing where a person is at in their customer journey. In the second cohort, I'm going to teach you prospecting and marketing and all that. Yes. So it's going to become more clearer. So again, there are people like that. They are already at the stage where they are ready to buy. Don't ask too many questions. And there are people that are probably having a bad day already. All right. So maybe when they when they reach out to you, they're having a bad day. All right. That may be the reason why they don't want to actually have the conversation. See, if you're a very good person when it comes to starting conversations, and you must master this if you want to sell. All right. You can break the toughest of hard down and make them soft. All right. But again, there are people that are just going to be adamant. You may not be able to help them ultimately. Well, I don't even want this kind of customers that will come into my DM and they're having a bad day already, and I cannot help them to even make their bad day very good. I don't want to work with you, because that kind of customer is likely going to be a problematic customer. I don't work with problematic customer. Any customer that will pay me 500,000 naira and will give me stress of 2 million during the prospecting stage, as soon as I can see the red flag, I don't want your money. All right. I don't want stress in my life. All right. So these are some of the skills you gain, from experience as you relate with people. I get on calls with people from UK, US, Canada, India, Bangladesh, like almost every day. All right. So it's easy for me to actually get on a call and quickly know, is this person going to be a waste of time, or this person is, so by the time I begin to ask you questions, okay, so what do you do now? And the person say, oh, I don't even have a job now. I begin to feel like, oh, this person may not really be a potential, may not be a customer. Then I ask them 1 or 2 or 3 more questions. If I quickly get the signal that this person is not going to buy, I'm looking for how to discharge you. In some cases, I'm looking for how to discharge them. In some cases, I build a relationship with them. I know they will buy in the future. All right. Again, all of these things, their intuition, they come with, experience. All right. Then the next question is, how long can or should buyer journey last? See, there's no duration journey. All right. A particular customer can go through their buyer's journey from awareness to consideration to decision. They can go through it in 1 month. Another customer can go through it in 1 year. All right. So, I mean, some of you can relate to the fact that there are people that reached out to you. They asked about your service 7 months ago. And after that, the conversation just ended and you just went about your life. They went about their life. After 7 months, they just send you a DM and like, oh, that thing we discussed that time, I'm finally ready. But there are other customers that their customer journey can just be, they got to know about you today. In the next 2 days, they're already considering it. In the next 5 days, they already want to buy. All right. So different customers, different journey. And that's why when I was talking about the customer journey, I said, in your content calendar, just ensure that you mix the different kinds of content. TOEFL content, that's the top of the funnel content. MOFO, middle of the funnel, and BOFO. Ensure that your content calendar has a mixture of those three. All right? Because you can make a TOEFL content today, and it's the first time that somebody is getting to know about your brand. In another case, the person might have known about your brand before, so you're just reinforcing their awareness. All right, so your content calendar must have these three types of content: the TOEFL, the MOFU, and the BOFU. You must sprinkle it in different weeks and different places in your content. All right, so as you are posting a MOFU today, somebody is just getting aware of you and their problem and their solution. A MOFU tomorrow, or someone else is saying yes to your products. All right, but someone else is not saying yes. They will not say yes today. Maybe when you make another BOFU content next week, they will finally say yes. So different customers are on different journeys with you. Different customers are on different journeys with you. There are different stages of the journey. So a customer can be following your content. They can be at the awareness stage. Other customers that are in your audience too are probably at the consideration stage already. So another one can be at the decision stage already. So if you make a MOFU content, your audience that is just at the awareness stage, they will just be aware. If you make a MOFU content, it will be more relatable to the people that are already considering. If you make a BOFU content, it will be more actionable for those that they have gone past the awareness and the consideration stage. They are already thinking of buying. All right. So like I said, how long can or should each stage in the buyer journey last? See, there's no duration for it. Just keep creating your content marketing. You just keep doing your content marketing, mixing your content all together, doing inspiration, doing education, doing video, doing text, and all that. It will be meeting different customers at different stages they are in their journey, and you'll be touching everybody. All right. And that's your chance that, oh, today you're going to be getting more people aware, tomorrow more people considering, next tomorrow more people saying yes. Then rinse and repeat. Is that clear? Did I answer your question in Jesus' word and Mr. Kanemo? I hope I answered your question. All right. So let's go to the next slide. We're wrapping up already. If you have any question again, please leave it in the comments section. I will answer them. Let me give you one final tip when it comes to controlling sales conversation. So after you have, put on your researcher cap during the sales conversation, and you have had conversation, you have driven them to that point where you have been able to uncover the value of what you want to offer them. All right. See, when you have asked questions, they've told you their aspiration, they've told you their pain points, they've unveiled their challenges and all that. The next thing you want to do when you are making your pitch is to make a bold statement. All right. Now that they have given you all the information that you need to land your final punch, now make a bold statement of what your service, or of how your service or your product is their answer to their problem. See, honestly speaking, when I get on sales conversations with people, and after we have talked for 10-15 minutes, it is possible at the end of the conversation that I now see that based on what they are going through and what they want to achieve, I am not the right person for them, or my product or service is not the right for them. I just tell them straight up, okay, so I see that what you're trying to do is to actually become a copywriter. I am not a copywriter. My experience is as a ghostwriter. So I'm not the right person to help you. Sometimes if I know somebody who can help them, I recommend somebody, but if I don't know, I tell them to go look out for. All right. So again, and that's what happens when you go on sales call without necessarily being under pressure to sell. Don't be under pressure to make people buy. Just go there, have a conversation with them. All right. And if in the end you now see that, oh, based on what they are going through, based on everything that every data you have collected, you have a service that can meet their need, then make a bold statement. All right. Make a bold statement. See, I have a service, and in 3 months, I can get you this result. Because you have helped them to see the value of what you're doing and your own competence with all the questions, and they feel like now you understand them, and you have now made a pitch that looks like it is well tailored to them. The next thing they'll be asking you is, oh, can we talk about the price? Where can we start? And now let me now give you this final tip. It's all about staying in control. So everything I've shared with you is how you will stay in control of the conversation. Again, when they ask you for price and you mention your price, shut up. See, this one, I learned it from one of my coaches. I have used it again and again, and it works. When you tell your potential customer the price of your service or your product, don't now begin to try to explain. Oh, so the reason why it is 500K is because of this, and because of this, and because of this, and because of this. The moment you are doing that, you are handling the driving seat to the customer. All right? The moment you are doing that, you have handed the driver's seat to the customer. But the moment you say, oh, they say, how much is the product? You say it is 500K. Shut up. Don't say nothing else. Let them be the next person who speaks. All right? In most cases, all right, they will be at your mercy. Now, I'm teaching you guys. I mean, you guys are like my yard people. So I'm giving you back-end secret to some of these things. So if somebody says, oh, how much is your service? Now say 500K. So, madam, it's 500K because of, the situation of the country. As you can see, everything is now expensive. Inflation has affected everything. So, the software we use now, they sell it for 499,000. So even it's just 1,000 naira that is my gain in this thing. The way you are saying all of that, you have lost your driving position in the conversation. Mention your price and shut up. And let the person now try to find a way. All right? Let the person now try to find a way, either to beg you or to appeal to you. All right? But if you have uncovered the value of what you are giving them very well, see, this is how I close iTicket. When I say iTicket, I say in the context of Nigeria. This is how I close 450,000 naira product. I sell to people. They say, oh, so how much is your coaching? I say it's 450K. And I shut up. I do not try to justify. See, when you try to justify, you're making it obvious that you really don't think you deserve that amount. You're also making it obvious that you are trying so hard to really get them to part with their money. I just tell you the price. The worst that can happen is that it's beyond your budget or it's beyond your pocket. And if it does not work, we end the call. I say goodbye to you. I move to the next person. Simple. See, don't be desperate to sell. Every time you start a sales conversation with desperation to sell, the other person can tell. And what you are doing is you are now leaving yourself at their mercy. Ultimately, they will price your 500K product. They will price it for 150 because they have seen your desperation. They have seen that you are desperate. And because you are desperate, they will price you for what you are selling for 500K. They will price you for 150K. You now say, okay. I will sell it 250. All right? You say, okay, I'll sell it 250 because you are too desperate to convert, to get them to buy. Go to a sales conversation without desperation. Just go and help them see the value of what you're offering. If they say yes, fine. If they say no, move to the next person. All right? No desperation. So again, when you mention your your selling price, don't explain. Don't let anybody put you under pressure to do any explanation. And see, in the next quote, I'm going to teach you how to position as a premium brand. See, you don't have to be the cheapest person in the industry. All right? Some of you are selling yourself short. Everybody is selling graphic design for 50K, but you want to sell it for 10K because you shall think, oh, when you sell it for 10K, oh, you will get all the customers. You don't have to be the cheapest person in the space. You can be a Bugatti. You can be a Maserati. You don't have to be a Toyota Corolla. You don't have to be a Honda Accord. And don't let anybody make you feel like your service is too expensive. Your service is not too expensive. You are probably talking to the wrong customer. Nobody walks into a Bugatti. I mean, I don't even know how they sell their stuff, all right? But nobody goes to Bugatti and go and be telling Bugatti that their car is too expensive. If it is too expensive, if your money can only buy a Toyota Corolla, then go and buy a Toyota Corolla. Did you miss road? All right? Did you miss your way? All right? Your service is not too expensive. Anytime somebody tells you that it's too expensive, you have probably talked to the wrong person. Your brand is probably attracting the wrong target audience, and you need to probably go and check your strategy again. Maybe you are talking to the wrong people. Your product is not too expensive. Your service is not too expensive. And don't always try to be the cheapest guy on the block. I'm going to really, try to help those that, join the second cohort brand. And I'm going to show you how 10x you're earning in 2025 with some of the strategies that I will share with you. All right. You don't have to be a basic brand. You should be, there's no crime in being a premium brand. Everybody can be selling the same service for 10K. You can make your own 100K. And if you position your brand very well, you will get clients and customers. Clients and customers that will pay you 100K with joy, with happiness. They will be glad that they are paying you. But you can position as a 10,000 naira service provider, and people will still be struggling to pay you the 10K because you are dealing with broke people. I don't deal with broke people. My brand does not deal with broke people. All right. So let me answer questions now. I see 2 questions. Then I will go to action point. Do I even have action points for today? Thanks for the training, so impactful. What if the call is an interview where they are recruiting and hiring? They also have a list of questions already. Should I still lead the conversation? Well, in an interview situation, it is the recruiters that will most likely lead the conversation again. But if you go prepared, I'm going to say this. See, every time I go for, when I used to go for interview, the last time I ever interviewed for a job was 2020. Never again, all right? So every time you go for an interview, let me tell you 2 things that companies are looking for. And this is what you want to go and achieve if you're going to persuade them to hire you. And there are only 2 ways that companies make more profits. 1, either they sell more or they cut down on overhead expenses. On their overhead. Let's make it make sense. You are all. If last year $10,000, all right, my head, you made $6,000. How much profit did you make? You made $4,000 profit. If you want to make more profits this year, there are 2 things you can do. You can either do one of these 2 or you do both of them. 1, make more $10,000 last year, and this year you sell $20,000. If the overhead cost of running business and all of that is, let's say, $10,000, how much profit are you going to make this year? You will make $10,000. But what if all you make this year is still $10,000? Reduce the cost of dollars to, let's say, $4,000. To reduce the cost of running the business year, even though you sold, reduce the overhead expenses, you are now making $6,000 instead to make profit. Everybody's in business to make profits, all right? And there are more, or 2, reduce expenditure. So any role that you are an admin role, you are only being as a major player in the company if you can help the company sell more or reduce their. Applying for his digital marketing or his secretary or his executive assistant or his HR. If you are able to during the addition of you to the company make more profits, either by helping them get more overhead, get the job, I guarantee you, able to sell yourself. And that's why even if you're an employee here, you're a 9-to-5 person, I always tell people you must always think about how you can add value to the 19. I was working for a school in Ogudu, Ojota, Lagos, and I was a personal assistant. Well, call me personal assistant or call me executive assistant. Anyone. I was working with the director of the school, and spending around 11. I saw that the school was spending around 11 million naira on marketing every session. 11 million. So as I was going through and I saw it, I'm like, oh, okay, so are we really getting value for this 11 million? Billboards, TV, radio adverts, and all of that. So I went to the director and I made a proposal to the director. I said, sir, we spend 11 million on marketing every year. Can we do a survey amongst the parents and ask the parents how did they get to know about our school, so that we can know which of the money we are spending on marketing is result. So the director said, oh, brilliant idea, do it. So I prepared, of course. Now I studied mass communication. I majored in public relations and advertising, so that's my field. And of course, I have a master's degree. I'm a pro when it comes to research. I worked as a research assistant for 1 year, with a lecturer too. So all of those skills, I put them together, drew a questionnaire. During the open day, was it the open day or the PTA? The parents came to school. I distributed the questionnaire to all the parents. They filled it. They sent it back. I collected the data, which of our marketing was working. And in the end, we discovered that the marketing strategy that was working the most is referral. Many of the parents came to the school because either a parent referred the school to them, or a teacher told them about the school. So at billboards, they were not really working. And after that experiment, I helped the school cut 4 million naira out of their advertising and marketing expenditure. See, I became like a king in that school. All right. The director so loved me. I was like his son. I mean, I've just shown that I care about the business. I've just helped them cut their overhead expenses to the tune of 4 million naira. I became almost indispensable in the system. When I wanted to resign in December 2019, I wrote my resignation letter. Come and see begging. Can you, okay, so do you want a raise? Do you, the final question was not like, okay, can you wait for 1 semester more? Can you wait for 1 semester more? I just told them my mind was made up already. It was time to leave. And I resigned. That was like my second to the last job since 2019. All right. So go to the interview, harm yourself with how to how to present what you can bring to the system in such a way that they can see the value that you're bringing, and make sure that the value is, they can see that the value is monetizable or is monetary. Do you understand? The value ties to how they can make profit, either how they can sell more or how they can reduce their overhead expenses. Then ultimately, in almost every interview, the HR people will ask you, do you have a question for us? Ensure that you have done your homework before that interview session too. That is now the time when you will take the driving seat. If you ask a very intelligent question, very smart question, you will now take over the conversation. And see, you would have impressed the interviewers that there's no way you're not getting the job. If you have shown them, number one, how that your skill and the school, and how it ties to the goal of the I mean, what did I say school? Because I just used an example of the school. If you have shown them the value that your skill is bringing to the company, and how it ties to monetary value, how you're either going to help them increase profits by selling more or by reducing their overhead expenses. And then you now get to the questions part. You now ask intelligent questions. You engage them intelligently. You ask them questions about the company, about, and all that. They will see you as somebody who came to the interview very prepared, very intelligent, very smart. You will get the job. I guarantee you. All right. So let me see the second question. How do we draw the line between looking desperate and following up with prospects? All right, again, approach is what makes you look desperate or looks like you're just following up. So it's about the wordings, what you're saying. All right. So if you're following up, you need to, and that's why I'm so big on messaging and words, because content marketing, content creation is all about choosing your words intentionally and carefully. And because communication is psychological, it's psychology, writing is psychology. If you know to choose the right words, you will appeal to the right emotions. So when you are reaching out to follow up or to reach out to cold pitch a person, if you choose the right words, you will steer the right emotions. If you choose the wrong words, they will block you or they will ghost you. All right. So it's all about choosing your words carefully. All right. And maybe when we get, if you are able to be part of the second cohort, and we're talking about prospecting, marketing, sending cold pitches, I'll give you templates of what exactly to say when you're pitching people, and you don't come off as very pushy and very, very aggressive. And you will be pitching somebody, and they'll be happy that you pitched them, something like that. Yeah. All right. Any other question before we wrap this up? Any other question before we wrap this up? If you're watching now, like this video. Okay, so this is the action points for the last session. Do an evaluation of your offer. See if it has at least 4 to 3 elements of an irresistible offer. I mean, you should also evaluate your sales process too. Let me say this. Let me give you this. See, you should do evaluation of sales process. See, there was a time in my business, it was early 2024. So on Medium, for example, I create content marketing posts, and then I put the call to action for people if they want to, work with me, coaching, email. So I was seeing a lot of emails. People were sending me a lot of emails. Almost every day I get emails. But at some point, I now noticed that, these emails were not converting. Why? Because I check my email, like, I'm not exaggerating that, because I work with foreign clients. The only way they communicate with me is emails, like very often. I used to joke with people. If you send me a WhatsApp DM, I may not see it. But if you send me a mail, there's almost no chance that I will miss it, because I check my email very often. So people send me, I check my email and I see their mail, like 10 minutes or 15 minutes they send it, and I reply to the mail, and I don't get a response, or if they are going to respond, it's maybe after 3 or 4 days. Why? Because many people have a poor email etiquette. They don't check their mail. The only time they went to check their mail was when you said, send me a mail. I know some of you are on this call, so you don't check your mail, all right? Maybe because you don't have any business with your mail, all right? So most people are like that. So they send me a mail, I respond, I don't hear back from them, or I hear back from them after 4 days. Then I respond to them again, and then I have to wait for them. It's broken, it's not working, it's not converting. And that was when I switched from emails to Calendly link. So when I want to get to engage people, I tell them to book a call. Of course, there are still people that will book a call and will not show up on the day of the call, either because they forgot or they got distracted. Even my VA booked the call with me, and then she didn't show up on the day of the people who booked the call. Get up. So that time, I now find out that my conversion just increased immediately. Because, see, I said it in the last call, I'll say it again. See, the only escape route for you is not to get on a sales call with me. If you get on a sales call, like a video call or a voice call, you get on a sales call, I'm looking at you, you are looking at me, and I engage you for 15 to 30 minutes. The only reason you will not buy from me is if I discover at the end that, I'm not the right person for you, or maybe you don't have the money. But that I got on a call with you and you don't buy, the chances are slim. I get 80 to 90% conversion on the calls that I get on. All right? I now figured out, it looks like I'm getting conversions with the call. I just crack any email again. All right? So when I want to put calls, because I know when you book a call and you sit with me on a call, you will buy. So some of you need to evaluate your process. It may be that, the reason why people come in through the door, like potential customers leave the end, it may be that there is a leakage in your system. There's a point where people drop off. Maybe it's something in your system that you need to replace, that you need to switch and change. And you find out that you just change it like this, and your conversion just go from maybe 10 over 100 to say 90% or 80%. Something additional. I didn't plan to say this, but you just came and I just felt like to share. So evaluate your offer, evaluate your sales process too, see what you need to tweak. All right. And if you have been doing the salesperson, the regular salesperson approach before, this 2025, rebrand and, begin to use this very simple, no pressure approach to selling. All right. And then number 2, again, create content for this week. Now, let me go back to the announcements that I made in the group. You cannot be making generic content and you'll be expecting to convert. It will not happen. All right. You're a web designer. Everybody is talking about LinkedIn. You two are talking about LinkedIn. What exactly is your problem? What's the color of your problem? Why are you falling? Why are you yielding to peer pressure? So you make a post about LinkedIn, you get 500 likes, 1,000 comments, and you're still broke. Yeah? Because what are you doing exactly? There's no strategy. You're just you are focusing on vanity metrics instead of focusing on really hitting the target. Just wake up and just create any content. Again, that's why the content guide I provided you is going to help you. One person from the community reached out to me yesterday. I mean, amazingly, it's even this, and it's Web Miller. Web Miller made her first post on LinkedIn on Monday. All right, on Monday, that was the first time she's showing up on LinkedIn. And by Thursday, someone is already asking her to send her portfolio. Is that not beautiful? That person who asked her to send her portfolio was the day she made a video where she was showing the process, the process through which she creates websites. That's the lady that was, that I left a comment about architecture, how she creates websites. She showed us how she goes into the research mode, how she goes into the brainstorming and the is it imagination or something. She just showed us everything, and she showed us how she draws the plan for the website, and then how she now does this, and she now showed us the final result. And I think that's the content that somebody saw and like, oh, send me you. I think I'm interested. All right, that's a step. That's a step further, and that's to show you that see, content marketing works. So don't just wake up tomorrow morning and just start creating any content and start doing. Am I saying that you can't do motivational Monday tomorrow? I'm not saying you can't. But again, like I told you, I said every time you want to make a post, ask yourself, what's the goal? What's the goal of this post? Is it to inspire? Is it to educate and inform? Is it to, to create engagement? Is it to promote? But don't just create any post. No, be very intentional. That's how to get results. All right? Ensure that your content is speaking to your ideal target audience. Your target audience are business owners. Then you are creating content all the times that are speaking to people that are not business owners. What are you doing? What are you doing with your brand? You're just wasting your time and wasting your energy. All right? You're going to be showing consistency, but you are consistently doing the wrong thing. Albert Einstein says insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Be intentional. See, sometimes when you make a post that is speaking to your target audience, depending on who your target audience, if your target audience are C-suite executives, for example, they will not like your post, they will not comment. But if your content hits the nail, you can be sure they will reach out to you in your DM. Don't now because you made a post, you got 5 engagement, now wake up tomorrow and just want to create what everybody is creating because you want engagement. Did you come to LinkedIn for engagement or you came to make money? Yeah, those are for people that wants to sell. All right? I came to LinkedIn to make impact, to impact lives, to build influence. I've always said it. One of my goals on LinkedIn is to be an influencer, and I'm on that path. I'm also looking forward to one day when LinkedIn will give me the blue tick and say, oh, guy, we like you in this content marketing industry. We see you as an authority. Take the blue tick. Days of my life. All right. But again, that's just to fuel my ego. All right, to fuel my ego, because I know a lot of people that have that blue tick on LinkedIn and they are not making any impact. Even their content does not get any engagement. All right. But my goal is to be an influencer on LinkedIn, to be somebody that companies and individuals are now partnering with, collaborating with, to influence for their brand. All right. Then the final one, of course, is to make money. All right. So once you know your goal for why you are being on, or you are on the platform, then it will help to guide what you are doing. Don't just be connecting with every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Some of you have connected with every Tom, Dick, and you can go and begin to unconnect now. Is it correct? It's not correct. Go and begin to disconnect. All right. You have 5,000 followers, but 4,999 of them is not your target audience. What are you doing with your brand? You're wasting your time. Now start intentionally connecting with the right people. And that's why, because if you have 4,999 people in your audience and they are not your target audience, you'll be making good posts that should be speaking to the pain point aspiration of your target audience, but only one person is not relevant to them. All right. So you must be intentional in 2025 about this, your brand thing. Be intentional about who you are connecting with. Be intentional with the content you are posting. Be intentional with networking. Be intentional with how you engage and where you engage. It's not everywhere you should be leaving your comment to. Better to leave a comment in 10, 15 places than to leave 100 comments, 100 useless comments. Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing. Good post, nice post, and all of those things. Be intentional this week. That's the bottom line. All right. And let your content reflect your personality too. All of you know I'm a very jovial person. I'm a very informal person, and you will see it in my content. You remember the video I posted where I was sharing about how I started my ghostwriting using a Techno mobile phone. Somewhere in the middle of the video, I still managed to put something that makes people laugh. Where I was saying, "Oh, I'm not even using this laptop. I feel like I should give it out." Oh, and I'm like, "Oh, Nkechi, I see you. Go and buy your own." And you know, something like that. It was just to lighten the mood and to make people laugh. I show my personality in my content and my brand. All right. I see you having fantastic results. In the absence of any question, in the absence of any further question, if you have any question, you can leave me a comment on this video and respond to it. All right. Love and light. I love you. I'm rooting for you. All this passion I'm putting into this is because I want to see you win. All right. It's because I want to see you win. I've had 4 sessions. All of the sessions have been close to 2 hours. That's like 8 hours. I charge 50K for 1 hour training or coaching session. If you're going to pay me, you'd have paid me 400K. And all the several hours I use in the group, reviewing your post, responding to your post, and reviewing your profile. I'm doing all of this because I want to see you win. All right, guys. So I'm being intentional about showing up for you. I want to be intentional about showing up for yourself as you go into week 2. And some of you have done so well in week 1. Don't drop the ball. Ensure that you stay focused. Don't be distracted. This is a marathon, it's not a sprint. All right, this is not just a 21 days journey, it's a 2025 journey. And I can tell you, if you commit and you're consistent, you will get results. I take a bow. Again, I love you. I'll see you in the group, and I'll see you as you create your content tomorrow. Let's have a good night's rest. All right, enjoy the music. I think I should show you my handsome face again. All right, guys. Thank you. Good night. Thank you. Good night. Thank you. Good night. Thank you. Good night. If you are yet to subscribe to this channel, don't leave without subscribing. Don't leave without subscribing. In the name of Jesus. I pray for all of you. You'll get results. The works of your hands are blessed. You're fruitful in your activities. In the name of Jesus. I take a bow.